Wow, I think I broke the internet. More people are jumping in this morning on the James River Air text line. I'll throw this one more thing out, and then I want to get to Virginia Tech. Think about this, okay? A lot of people are disagreeing with me. Oh, no, Rich, you should support your kids no matter what they want to do, and it's awesome that you're that involved in your kid's life. Okay. Use logic here. If you want to be uber involved in your child's life and elevate them at an early age into the spotlight, what if it was child acting instead of having them play in an all-star game at the age of 8? How many child actors do you know that haven't had some type of complete meltdown in their life? How many child actors have led a normal life? Not many that I know of. How many kids were on the Disney Channel haven't had major issues? How many child actors that were on Different Strokes and so many of those other shows haven't been just completely messed up their entire life? It's because you put so much pressure on them at an early age and the stage moms. If you're a baseball mom, basically you're a stage mom for your own production on Instagram and TikTok. I'm just speaking for experience. I brag about my son all the time, probably too much. Pretty good-looking kid. I would take him to work with me sometimes. If I had to go tape interviews and I didn't have a babysitter, I would take him with me. I'd take him with a little stroller, and I put him in the stroller, and we go to the Fox movie lot on Pico in Los Angeles, because that's where Fox Sports was. That's where I lived when he was born. This was maybe a year old. And I'd push him in his little stroller. We go in the commissary, and I get him Cheerios so he could sit there eating Cheerios or gumming on them while I was taping an interview. People ask me, where's the other one? The other one, the twin. Isn't he a baby actor? No, this is my son. I'm just bringing him to work. Oh, he's so cute. You ever thought about, no, I don't want him to be an actor. Oh, if he was a twin, boy, I'd cast him right now. Oh, because they have to have twins because babies can only work so much. They need to flop them out. That's why the Olsen twins were so big in Full House. One day we were walking through Babies R Us, going to go buy diapers. And they had an open casting call, like 1,000 parents waiting to try to get their kids noticed by an agent. We walked by this line of people, like laugh, like, look at all those people. Agent caught a look at Riggs, ran around the table, chased us down, said, "Are you going to get in line?" "No, we're just buying diapers." "Well, can I see your child?" "No." "Go away, creep." I really think, boy, he's so handsome. I'm like, well, thanks. He's a cute kid. Look at those cheeks. I'd like to represent him. Like, no. And he followed us around for like 5 minutes. Fine. Here's our card. Here's my number. Called us because can I get a picture of him? Let him have a picture. He said, "Hey, I think we have a shot at getting him to be the baby Gap." You know, at Christmas or at New Year's, they always have a child that's the baby Gap for that year. They like his look. They want to do a photo shoot with him. And we had already moved out of Los Angeles. So I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't want him to have that. So he still gets mad at me because he could have been baby Gap. I said, no, you're not that good looking. But those parents that want that so bad, are they doing it because they're doing it for their kid, or are they doing it because they want to be a star? They want to be Lindsay Lohan's mom. You're doing the same thing if your kid's doing all of these things like climbing El Capitan in the second grade, or you're traveling out of state to play in a game so you guys can make a video and put it on YouTube. You guys agree? 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. Let them be kids. They only get to be kids once in their life. Let them be kids. I want to bring something up. Virginia Tech Board of Visitors is about to meet. Here's a headline from the Roanoke Times. Virginia Tech BOV to consider vote on athletics-related LLC. Limited Liability Corporation? What is that? Virginia Tech's Board of Visitors is on the verge of shaking up the athletic department by turning over the department's business and revenue-generating operations to a new company. The board, I'm reading from the article, the board will consider a proposal during its upcoming meeting in June to create Hokies Venture, a non-profited limited liability company Hokies Ventures will be affiliated with the university and will be run by yet to be hired chief executive officer. That CEO and the athletic director will essentially split the responsibilities needed to run a modern athletic department. Now, I'm not just picking on the Hokies because they're just one that is following this model. Do you realize in college football now we have general managers that manage the roster of the players, who comes, who goes, who gets signed, who doesn't, how much money we pay them, just like the National Football League? And now we're going to get these companies. We have private equity that are trying to buy pieces of athletic departments as if it's a business. Here's what I'm going to tell you, folks. Your tax dollars are basically being spent to subsidize professional sports at the college level. If you want to be pros, go be professionals. College athletic directors and college athletic programs. You want to be pros? Then go be pros. Go split apart from the university and go stand on your own 2 feet and become an NFL franchise if your football program is that big like the Hokies, Virginia, Miami, North Carolina. Shall I go through all the teams in the ACC? All of these people want to be pros before they earn their way into professional football. I laugh when I see all of this. All these kids deserve to get paid all this money. Really? Do they generate that kind of cash that people would watch them if they were just simply playing professional football? Yeah, college football generates a lot of money. That money goes to pay for every other sport that loses money. Golf, tennis, track and field. How much money do you think swimming brings into the athletic department? Softball, baseball. Do you think baseball pays for itself? No, they all lose money. Football and men's basketball, for the most part, there's a handful of women's team that will generate a small profit, but the rest are all losers when it comes to money. They all lose money. And then the football team makes enough that they can carry everything else, plus your tax dollars, student fees, and all the rest. But if you want these things, these entities, these athletic departments to be able to have a pro-style model, then stand on your own 2 feet. Again, of all those kids playing college football, how many of them make it to the National Football League? Very few. How many of those student athletes will make it as professional athletes? Very few. Yet, we want to keep making this bigger and bigger and bigger. I just don't get it. And I think college athletics, as it stands right now, is about to die. How many of you are willing to pay tax dollars to a university and an athletic department to use our tax dollars to fund an athletic department that pays professional athletes? Would you pay money to the Commanders, the Nationals? I know we build their stadiums, but just ongoing funding. Stadiums are one thing, funding is the next. Why is it we give money to these professional models who are in college sports, disguising themselves as part of the university, but we don't give money to the Commanders? Maybe we should give money to the Commanders as well, because they're doing the same thing. You see what I'm talking about? We're blurring the lines between the two. I wonder where that's going to go. With Virginia Tech going that way, being a standalone professional franchise. Now, if you go with this and you split it off and you've got a CEO of a private LLC, you're no longer part of the athletic department. You're no longer part of the university. I'm raising this issue for you, because if that happens, then you are just a pro franchise. And I'm not sure why I should keep seeing our tax dollars go over there. Maybe you split apart and go do your own thing if that's the direction you want to go. See how long that lasts. Bad idea by the Board of Visitors. I get that you've got to keep up with everybody else, but if you do that, then basically you've just split yourself apart and you're just borrowing the Virginia Tech Hokie colors and playing at Lane Stadium and playing on campus. But are you really part of the university if I've got a LLC that's running the show? We'll take your text messages, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140, the number for you to join us on the James River Air text line. I'm fired up this morning. By the way, I'll remind everybody, Rachel Campos Duffy, Fox and Friends, best-selling author, joins us coming up on the program in about an hour and 15 minutes from now. She'll join us in the 8 o'clock hour. You don't want to miss it. She's got a new book out. We'll talk about that coming up this morning on Richmond's Morning News. Again, James River Air text line 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. Today's program is brought to you by A+ Roofing. All right. I got a friend, Billy